8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you. Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros. Kids, got a big Wednesday show today. Founder of Turning Point USA and the author of Right Wing Revolution, How to Beat the Woke and Save the West, Charlie Kirk is here. Charlie, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, and I was complimenting your Dennis Rodman jersey and your O.J. Simpson jersey there. Great to be here, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Obviously, R.I.P. to O.J. I know the wounds are still fresh, not only for O.J.'s death, but then some other people in his past, and that's hard to get through. Allegedly,
yeah. He
was found not guilty. D'Anthony?
That's right. Which usually you say innocent, which is not the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But well, compared to what's going on in today's society, Trump convicted, OJ free. You know, that's where we're at in today's world.
Juries get stuff wrong. What can I say?
Well, OJ wasn't trying to end the military-industrial complex, so I don't think there was any impetus to put him behind
We
bars.
don't know that.
That's true.
We know for sure that he wasn't.
We don't know that he wasn't a Mossad agent or anything like that. So I'll leave it on the table. Perfect time for you to have this book out. Obviously, big election coming up this fall. I've said this on the show over the last few months. And it sounds like hyperbole at this point, but it really does feel like the biggest election in our lifetime.
Yeah, it is. And thanks, guys. And you have a great show going here. Honored to be here. So yeah, the book is really about that. The stakes that are in front of us. A lot of people that previously don't care about politics are starting to wake up and realize that we're living through extraordinary times. We talk about it in the book of exactly who are the woke, what do they believe, what are they doing to the country, and we're living through a moment where the current ruling class, the regime, they seem to have such resentment and bitterness towards the American people, and they are making deliberate and intentional steps to destroy this country, from leaving the border open to hyperinflation to sending money to this Ukraine-Russian nonsense. So we talk about in the book of what every individual can actually do to fight back against it, from the micro and the macro, not just elect better leaders, but from very specific action items. We just got a call from our bookseller. They ran out of books at bookstores across the country, so it's doing really well. Praise God for that. And yeah, people can check it out. Right Wing Revolution, How to Beat the Woke and Save the West.
Absolutely. Through Christ, anything is possible. But let's get to some points in your book. You talk about specifically the Republican Party as well, not being able to get out of their own way. This is something that Dan and I have talked about many times on this show in the past in regards to funding Ukraine and Israel and everything else. You also made an interesting point in the book of how some of the most red states aren't necessarily the best states to pick congressmen or women to put into these roles, because they're easily swayed on one way or the other, and they don't necessarily have the interest of the people. Can you tell me how we can correct that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So first of all, there really is not an opposition party in this country. There is a performative opposition party called the Republican Party. But on the big stuff, Republicans and Democrats agree on all of it, whether it be sending money abroad or keeping the borders open, or keeping the size and scope of government the same. The Republican Party, it's more like the Republican and the Democrat Party, and we call that the uniparty, if you will. And the American people deserve an actual opposition party. We deserve a voice, and we talk about that in the book. And some of the reddest states, for example, Oklahoma, where every single county voted for Donald Trump, all 77 counties voted for Trump, you actually don't find that kind of opposition spirit in even the reddest states. In Oklahoma, for example, you have the universities in Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma, Oklahoma State University, have some of the worst offenses of DEI, of critical race theory. Why are we putting up with that in some of the reddest parts of the country? So there is an imbalance happening right now. We talk about in the book that one of the reasons why the country is in the state that it's in is because the American American people are largely upset with the current American political class, and there is not an organization or a movement that speaks for them in opposition to that. Donald Trump is that temporary placeholder for that, which is why he is succeeding so much and why he's doing well in the polls and why so many people that otherwise were not political are supporting his candidacy, because he is the placeholder of that opposition, that oppositional counter-revolutionary movement against the current Leviathan, as we articulate it in the book.
Sure, yeah. Culture really matters, right? So if you look at the reason for the fall of Rome, and I don't mean the eventual falling of Rome, but I mean the part where it stopped being Rome sometime in the 4th century. There's a lot of reasons given for this, depending on which historian you believe or whose conclusion you really agree with. But there's a couple of things you can't dispute. One was the constant invasion of Germanic hordes, right? Northern Europeans coming into Rome, and instead of doing what has traditionally been the case, which is to accept Roman culture because you came there to benefit from it, right? They brought their own culture. They started taking over general roles. They started becoming consuls and all sorts of other bullshit. This lack of a requirement for assimilation was a big part of it, right? And one of the other big factors, well, two of the other big factors were the loss of big cities, right? Like Rome was a city-state by nature, so its big cities across its empire were what really provided the tax revenue and provided the maintenance of the culture, right? Like you're a true Roman, and no matter where you are in the world, that was a big part of it. And then, of course, hyperinflation, where they started recalling all the coinage and taking all the silver out and then putting cheaper metals in there. So they created hyperinflation. Now, if you look around the United States right now, every single one of these things are happening. Yes. People are coming from their shithole countries, and instead of assimilating into American culture, they're like, hey, we're going to bring Somalia to America. It's like, no, we're good, bro. We're all stocked up on Somalia here.
Yeah,
right?
Somalia sucked in the first place. Yeah, I don't want that here.
And we're creating hyperinflation for no fucking reason. There's no economic reason to be creating the inflation that we're creating, and we're having this loss of culture, whether it's through religion, where traditional religion's now been replaced by wokeness or whatever else. All the signs are there, right? And it's all in front of our face. As Plato said, I think to your point in this book, one of the key factors that has led to all of this has been this idea that I'm just going to vote red. And that's it, right?
Yep.
And then I trust red. Red's I grew up with red.
That's what we used to do.
So I'm going to vote for red. Plato said if you refuse to take part in your own governance, you're doomed to be ruled by fools. And that is exactly where we are in this process right now.
And speaking of which, with Trump, there is a rumor this week that he's going to either announce his VP before tomorrow night's debate, potentially the day after. Obviously, he's got a court hearing coming up July 11th for a potential sentencing in New York. Who do you think it's going to be, and when should he announce his VP pick?
Well, first of all, that was a super smart analysis on the fall of Rome, and so you're exactly right. And I would add to that sexual degeneracy, which was also a characteristic of the fall of Rome, which we see all across our land. And then additionally, I think you mentioned this briefly, just a nonstop nagging to try to expand your own borders to invade foreign lands while your own body politic collapses, which again is a feature of our current ruling class and regime. So the harmonies between the fall of Rome and the fall of America, it's rather incredible. So you're exactly right. To answer your question, I hope it's J.D. Vance. I think J.D. Vance is the best for a lot of different reasons. He would be one of the youngest people ever to serve as vice president, which I think is great to have a fresh voice and a younger generation outlook. He's a great father. He's incredibly smart, but most importantly, he could help us a lot in the Rust Belt, Western Pennsylvania and Southern Michigan. Him being from Ohio, being very popularly elected from Ohio, he does great on TV. He's been a terrific senator. So it's really going to be J.D. Vance or Doug Burgum. I think J.D. Vance would be able to reach out to a Gen X, millennial, Gen Z generation that does not always feel as if their needs, wants, concerns are being properly represented in the current political discourse. So, and JD's a dear friend. He's the best. So I hope he's the guy, and he is. He's in the final right now. It looks like it's Burgum v. JD of who's the selection is going to be, and Trump could select any hour now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. Look, I'm not homies with JD like you are. However, I did graduate from the Ohio State University.
Knock it off of that.
But I'll tell you why it matters. I don't think we need Ohio. I think we've got Ohio anyways. Obviously, I'm a big Trump guy, but I don't see the necessity for picking somebody from Ohio and picking off a position that's that important, which he's great at already there. If you're going after Gen Z, why not Vivek? Dan and I have discussed Vivek on the show for the last week or so. I was big on him after the first debate that happened there. Why not Vivek?
And to be clear, I don't think there's a winner or loser between the two. I think they both provide similar characteristics.
Burgum is boring as shit.
Yeah, like that guy looks like he looks like a character out of a scary movie or something. I'm not involved. I don't want to get involved.
How,
dude? And let's be fair. There is some level of looks that come into politics. It's just the way it is, right?
Mike Pence helped me pray the gay away, but that's it. Like we didn't have anything in common. I feel the same way about.
He's got
Doug
that Johnny
Burnham.
Quest dad haircut with the flies zooming around his head. I didn't like that. But the only thing that distinguishes the two, there's two characteristics to me that distinguish the two. One is that Vivek is very popular amongst libertarian voters who, to your point from before, are one of those groups of people who feel like they're politically homeless now because most of them aren't going to vote for the libertarian candidate because he's a groomer guy, right? He's into all that fucking bullshit. So
Chase Oliver, he's a weird dude.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. Nobody is going to vote for him. I think the polls I've seen show that 75% of registered libertarian people will vote for Trump if Vivek is his guy, right? So that's one plus in his favor. I don't think Vance loses you anything either. The only problem I see with Vance is that we take him out of that position that he's in right now. And if we don't have a backstop to put him in there, that would be like for the not for the party, because I don't think J.D. Vance is a party guy. I think he's a liberty guy, which I appreciate, right? But we have very few of them. If Amish wins in Michigan, we've got one more. But we have Rand Paul, we have Amish, we have
Thomas
Massie and Mike Lee, maybe. That's about it, right? For guys who are trying to who are actively trying to shrink the size of the federal government.
And if we're going to try to change the Republican Party, which I think needs to be changed, you need these guys spread out around the nation. And I think Vivek would be able to go out there on the stump and just absolutely eviscerate people on a daily basis. And he's the one guy that has consistently pushed Trump's narrative and what he wants for this next term more than anybody else. I mean, look, I know he's your buddy, but J.D. Vance back in 2016 was a never Trumper back then. I don't know what has changed since, but I don't know how that's going to play in commercials.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And from the Ohio thing, and yeah, I'm sorry to hear you went to Ohio State. Best of luck against Michigan this year.
We'll win that in the national championship. I'm all in. Go ahead.
You're long on Ryan Day? Okay, we'll see.
I'm real short on Chip Kelly, though. Watch out for that offense.
I'm short on Ryan Day, too. I agree with you. I've been saying this for 3 years now. This is a college football show, but fuck politics. Let's get into it.
Well, I will be in Eugene for the Ducks-Bucks game.
We will be there, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, our hard seltzer company is debuting in Oregon that weekend, so let's go. Let's hang out.
Our hard AF seltzer that's all over the set will be in Oregon. We'll actually be there, so let's do it live from the stadium. We do a live show from the game. Yes, perfect.
You guys can talk all the shit you want.
Sorry, I don't mean to sidetrack, but a goofy fact about me. I'm an Oregon Duck season ticket holder. My whole family went to Oregon. So anyway, we'll do something at Autzen, which is going to be the game of the year. I bet game day will be there.
It is the game of the year, yeah.
Yeah, so as far as the JD thing, you're right. We don't need Ohio. My argument, I could have articulated it better, is regionally he speaks to the Rust Belt better than most candidates. Western Pennsylvania has same values as Eastern Ohio, for example. Same with Southern Michigan. I love the Vivek pick. He's just not, based on my private conversation with Trump and what we've seen publicly, necessarily one of the finalists. Here's what I love about Vivek, though, is Vivek is able to bring in a new generation and an intellectual foundation for the MAGA agenda that has been lacking at times. I think JD can as well, but Vivek has been able to red pill more elites than I've been able to see. I think he was transformational in getting Elon Musk to be as outspoken as he has been, to get what we saw this recent Silicon Valley fundraiser. So I am super long on Vivek. He's another Ohioan, by the way. Really great guy. I think there's a bright future for him. If it's VP, then great. I mean, I'll be thrilled. He's we work together with him on a lot of stuff. I just, out of the two finalists, I think JD's there. And to your point also, as far as being a Liberty guy, we need to expand those ranks. I would put Josh Hawley in there when it comes to foreign policy stuff. He's been great on Ukraine, super articulate when it comes to that. But you're right. There's only like 5 or 6 fighters in the U.S. Senate and House that really understand what we're up against. Vance is one of them. To his credit, he has been against sending money to Ukraine. Yep. He has been against the FBI's overreach. He's just been terrific across the board. And I will say that if President Trump wants to at least be able to have someone that can go on TV that remains calm, cool, and collected. JD has a great media presence to him, but I don't disagree with anything you guys said.
Yeah. JD also brings to the table that he's an actual hunter from the Rust Belt, and I don't know if you've heard this narrative that's been going out lately, but there's about 10 million licensed hunters across the United States right now who are not registered to vote. They're not even registered, right? So in Ohio, it's 625,000 people who have hunting licenses or above 18, state residents, no felonies, so eligible to vote, who are not even registered to vote. And I feel like that could be a big part of their campaign if you bring a guy like J.D. Vance.
Especially in a lot of those swing states. Yep. Because a lot of these...
No, sorry to interrupt.
No, you take a state like Michigan... Yeah, he's right there. And if you get those hunters on board, congratulations, you won the 2020 election.
Michigan's 370,000 people. Yeah. 370,000 people who are eligible to but not registered to vote, who obviously lean right.
Extraordinary.
It's insane, right? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. For you last night, were you watching these primaries closely? And what'd you think of AOC's bestie losing last night?
Oh, yeah, Jamal Bowman. He should have pulled a fire alarm. He might have won. Yeah, I was thrilled to see it. I want to be careful, though, because I think that the attack vector against him, again, I happen to be sympathetic to Israel and pro-Israel, but he's like a crazy lunatic Marxist. And so just the fact that they made this a single issue on Israel, I think, is a little bit of a distraction. But I'm happy to see anybody from the squad losing, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, so. You know that rally that he held where AOC had a fit of some sort. I don't know exactly what happened. That wasn't even in his own district. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we found that out this morning when we came into work. Our producer was able to pull that up.
So the real question now is we're in a lame duck period technically now for the people that lost their primaries. Who's the dumbest member of Congress right now? Because there was that guy that said that the Guam was going to tip over.
Yep.
Right. Oh, is he still there?
Yeah, he's still in Georgia. Yeah,
still there,
big time.
I think it's Sheila Jackson Lee.
Yeah, have you worse than Cori Bush?
I got Bush at 1.
Oh, Cori Bush is really bad. No, and the problem with Cori Bush is she's so stupid yet so confident in herself. Yeah. And that is the lethal combination.
It is, man.
God, you just
is that like me. She's convinced when she's doing these interviews that she's the smartest person on the planet.
There's no way that she's fully literate.
No, not at all.
There's no way.
Not at all. On another show this week, I was listening to you on. You had a great point, and I hope it doesn't sound like a boomer moment because I don't think it should be. I forget whose show you were on, but you were talking about what has changed over America in give or take the last 30 years. With 4th of July coming up, obviously we have a huge military veteran audience. You discussed how back in the day, everybody and their mother used to come out for 4th of July. Everybody was super patriotic. That was our big holiday. You had Christmas, you had Thanksgiving, and fun things like that. Now, over the course of, let's say, the last 30 years, every month has to be something. We're adding new federal holidays for no reason and all that other shit. How do we unwind it? And how do we put the toothpaste back in the tube at this point when it feels like it's lost?
Yeah, it's a great, I mean, I made this argument the other day. I said, we have an entire month based on people's private sexual behavior, and we barely have a day to celebrate the country. I mean, I want people to understand that. Pride Month versus Independence Day. Look, I think this is part of what Trump's agenda has to be, which is we should make the entire month of July American Pride Month and try to counter what's been happening in June. And also, we should just start rejecting this idea that the rainbow flag needs to be everywhere at all times. I think the entire idea of Pride Month is completely unnecessary and wrong from the start. And exactly what are you proud of? You're proud of like your own private sexual decisions. Like when you really think about it deeply, it's really perverse and not something we should be celebrating. But yeah, it's going to require us to then elevate what is beautiful and good over what is not, and that the country is those things, or it should be, and that's what our veterans have sacrificed and what we should be celebrating. And you see, one of you made the point previously, where as America becomes more secular, we have these counterfeit religions that start to take its place. And one of the counterfeit religions is the religion of pride, or the religion of earth worship, which is environmentalism, and we talk about this in the book, or the religion of DEI, or the religion of anti-racism, so on and so forth. And so as America has become more secular, something replaces normative Christianity. And that's not a good thing. And so I think part of what we talk about in great detail in the later part of the book is a spiritual revival and getting people to recenter their lives on the divine, knowing that there is a God and you are not him. And I think it's immense. It's mission critical towards saving the West. Otherwise, I say this all the time, if you think that we can save the country and allow us to continue to slip down the secular route, you're wrong. And even if you are not religious, listen to this. I'll try and convince you that America was a better country when we were more religious. The fruit of Christianity kept the West stable. In fact, it created the West. And now the hyper-secular America is a place where they say men give birth and that children can chop off their breasts in the name of transgender affirming care.
Yeah, I actually am not religious. Neither of us are particularly religious, but I agree with that 100%. And it has nothing to do with the tenet, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with the tenets of Christianity specifically, although they are on par or on average way better than other religions that we see, especially Islam, which is nonsense. But this is another thing you see in the 4th century through 7th century during the true fall of Rome. And people try to obfuscate this fact sometimes, but Christianity actually played a role in that, right? Because it wasn't just about the tenets of the religion. It was about replacing one culture with another. And all these people in disparate areas were like, well, I don't need to care about Rome anymore. G.K. Chesterton said that men didn't love Rome because she was great. Rome was great because the men loved her. And what they loved was antiquity. They loved the fact that it was old, that it was ours. This belongs to us. La Cosa Nostra, this thing of ours, right? This is a common theme throughout all of history. And when you strip that away, people lose pride and stuff. And there has been a direct assault on pride from the American position, right? 1619 Project, all this stupid nonsense.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
It's been a constant assault on this stuff. And you see it. It doesn't matter if you believe in Judeo-Christian religion or not. The values you do believe in. Mm-hmm. If you live in the West and you're a part of Western culture, you definitely believe in those things.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Say what you want about it,
and
but there's a noticeable effect when that stuff goes away.
Well, and two things. And first of all, as for someone who's not religious, quoting G.K. Chesterton, that's pretty impressive. I wish most Christians knew who G.K. Chesterton was. Yeah. So everyone should read his book, Orthodoxy. It's incredible. Anyway, just to second that point. So again, I'm a very serious Christian, and I believe in the metaphysics of it. But Christopher Hitchens, who's an atheist, has recently come out who doesn't believe in the metaphysics of it. But he says the West was better when the Christian fruit was ripe. And he was saying that the West was better when it was a Christian civilization, not a secular one. So those you don't have to necessarily accept the metaphysics of Christianity. I hope you do, but you don't have to in order to acknowledge the obvious that this entire experiment we have in self-government and liberty is the outgrowth of the fundamental values of the Judeo-Christian construct. And
Christopher Hitchens, the most famous atheist of all time, the most famous militant atheist of all time.
That is correct.
Still agreed with that premise. So, I mean, I don't think it's really debatable, frankly.
Yeah, and look, we know you're busy doing the book tour and a ton of interviews and everything else.
I wish I could spend more time, guys.
I got to get you out of here.
Great.
I got one more question for you before you get out here. If we lose in November, can you save the country? Can the country withstand 4 more years of this? I've said no for the last year. Just seeing what I'm seeing on a daily basis, I'm saying no. Do you think that Biden could potentially ruin the country with another 4 years?
Yeah, I hesitate to answer it bluntly because if we lose, I go back to work and I keep fighting. So because if I say yes, it's ruined, then it would be kind of a signal that I'm giving up, which I won't, because I think there's always fight left in the American people. It will be very hard to recover. It will be very hard, but I believe you have a moral obligation to fight. My entire life is centered on that belief that you fight, even if the odds are stacked against you, you do what is right, even though you might lose. I think that sort of belief system is the right way to conduct your action, your agency. But 4 more years of open borders, of multi-trillion-dollar deficits, of getting closer to World War III with this stupid proxy war between Russia and Ukraine that we should not be involved in, with the FBI raiding moms and dads and school board members, it's hard to believe how the Republic can survive. It might be called America, but it might no longer be America.
Yeah, and I agree with you. We'll be back at work the next day. After all, Republicans have to work. Right Ring Revolution is the name of the book, How to Beat the Woke and Save the West. It is out now. Amazon is the easiest. It'll be at your house in 48 hours there. Charlie Kirk, it's a pleasure. Before we get out of here,
Thank you.
I want to hold you to that Oregon bet. I got $1,000.
We'll see in Eugene.
$1,000 to your charity or ours, and then the loser has to wear an Ohio State or an Oregon jersey there. I
will wear it on air the following Monday when I do my show, or I will be tuning into your show to see that beautiful Oregon Ducks jersey.
Chip Kelly's going back to Oregon, my man. Chip Kelly is going back to Oregon.
That does not usually go well for him when he returns. Just ask how UCLA did 2 years ago. So we'll see what happens.
UCLA is not a real place. It's like Gaza, for Christ's sakes. We'll let you get out of here, Charlie. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks, guys.
All right, cheers. We'll see you in October. Today's show is brought to you by Liquid Death. Looky here, kids. Liquid Death, best in the biz. You might see a coworker cracking a tall boy at 9 a.m. It's not malt liquor, although it looks like it. The box is right here. Beautiful cans out of there, and probably some of the best branding we've ever seen, Anthony, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
they should use that phrase, check out our beautiful cans, because it's double entendre.
Oh, man. You can give it to him for free. You want to give it to him for free?
It already
today?
did. It's public information now.
All right. You can have it if you want to. They got everything over there. Initially, they started off with just flat water. Now they got sparkling water. They've also got teas over there. You see these cans. You see these beautiful... what do you call these? Little fucking snifters, dude? It's got it's like a little canteen. It's got a little top like this. That's fun.
A snifter?
What do you call it?
A snifter is a small glass.
This feels like a small glass. What is
Keep
this?
trying, because this is making me happy.
Give me a lifeline here.
Double wall container.
But what is the fucking top for, dude? It's like it's for sheepdogs. You can tie it around your neck, put some water in case you get thirsty out in the forest.
And now it's getting sad.
Why would you put this on here? I like it, but it's a nice little canteen.
So you can hold
I feel like keeps the water cold. I know that.
Technically, I guess we used to call it a thermos, but
old school.
Yeah,
let's go thermos. Dude.
Stanley cup, but it's not Stanley. It's just a double wall container.
Let's go.
That's what they're called.
Let's go in old school thermos. I love the old school thermoses.
Put some hot soup in there.
Death will brutally murder your thirst, and their infinitely recyclable cans are helping to bring you death to single-use plastic bottles. You can get free shipping of Liquid Death's Mountain Water, flavored, sparkling, and iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or a case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, or on Instacart. Go to liquiddeath.com/drinkinbros to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That is liquiddeath.com/drinkinbros, liquiddeath.com/drinkinbros.
Also, if you're watching on Twitter live right now, to make sure you don't miss it, Twitter's quite a bit better at this than some of the other platforms. So to make sure you don't miss when we go live on here, hover over go right under the video where you see the little bell and click to turn on notifications. They're actually pretty good on Twitter.
They're getting better.
Yeah.
We talked about this on yesterday's show. They started opening up a chat function on the right-hand column.
I'm in it right now.
Same as YouTube, which is fucking rad. I think it's no coincidence that Alex Jones is forced to liquidate, and then magically, boom, he's here. I would assume his entire organization will move over to Twitter. And Twitter, if you're watching, we're for sale too. Friend, love it over there. And we've gained about, 5,000 followers since Elon bought the goddamn thing, which is a Christmas miracle. It's weird when the algorithm isn't working against you. Let's go over last night's results here. Boebert. My God, what a little champion last night she was.
Yeah,
she fought her heart out.
That's a vote for tits, I guess.
It is.
Because it's not for politics.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? If you're a real American, doesn't every real American start off at a Burger King and then kind of work their way up through life? Isn't she the American dream?
I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. That's the American dream or whatever. But who was she running against? Who was the person she was running against? And what were their policies and how were they different from hers?
You know what? No idea. No idea. No need to get into that. Really want to focus on those bolt-ons and the fact that they're back in Congress for another sesh. Bob, how long does that run? Is it 4 years?
No, it's 2.
Oh, it's only 2, and then you have to rerun again?
Yes, every 2 years.
Damn, dude. All right.
Boebert won against, it was a couple people in the field. I think Jerry Sonnenberg and Deborah Flora were the 2 people who finished second, basically. I mean, she was always going to win. This is not her previous district, though. She's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She moved districts,
Can you
so
tell
it's
me
an entirely new district.
Tell me the top dude's name.
Jerry Sonnenberg.
Spell it.
Sonnenberg.
I'm just looking him up on Open Secrets to see where his money comes from.
Find him.
I'm just curious who's sending money to him. It's very limited.
Do you even go against Boebert, though? Do you really want that smoke from her?
Why not?
Secretly,
What
you probably
smoke?
want an HJ in a theater. You know?
What smoke, though? I mean, it's not like she's smart.
Every picture she has, Bob, pull up the amount of pictures in which she open carries everywhere, dude. There's a lot. I saw a lot last night on Twitter as she was dancing to another victory because of her great policies and everything she believes in out there. And I was surprised at how many pictures there were of just her out in public with a holster on.
This Sonnenberg guy is just rich, I think. He's run for every office in Colorado for 20 years.
Okay.
And never won shit, so far as I can tell. I don't think he's anybody.
Maybe not. There she is. Look at that. Okay, that's great. Boom. Back in there. Thank God, dude. Thank God.
Single mom.
Single mom,
So
dude.
I'm sure
fighting to stay alive.
she's got an opinion about everything.
Keep scrolling, Bob. Type in Boebert on Twitter. They were endless last night. I was like, oh, shit. All right, there's one. There's a perfect one. Look at this. Look at this, D'Anthony. What a fun little gal.
Women holding guns does nothing for me.
It's not that, dude. It's the look in her eyes. I didn't even notice she was holding a gun. It was the look in her eye. Bob, pull that back up again. She had a serious look in her eyes of, hey, I'm a serious politician.
Bolt on Boebert.
This one's a little more
That's
casual.
that's what the Twitter chat's calling
Look
her.
at
Bolt
this.
on Boebert.
What do you call that there?
It's called a leg. It's called a thigh holster, and it's stupid. Unless you're wearing body armor, there's literally no reason to fucking. The only reason that exists is because if you have body armor, you can't wear it on your hip. That's literally the only reason it exists. A drop leg holster is fucking pointless.
I think she is wearing body armor.
No,
you've got to protect damn titties.
No, she's not wearing body armor.
Come on, man. I think she's got a little something up top, little Kevlar up top. They make a bra with Kevlar in it.
They do actually, yeah. They make some lady shot herself in the chest wearing it. And there's like Kevlar in it, and then a little slot to put your weapon into, and she popped herself in the titty with it a couple years, like 6 years ago, maybe. I don't remember when that happened.
Yeah, I mean, with those beautiful Tetons there, she's got to protect them. So
you don't know that they're beautiful, though. And Gary Faust talks about this all the time. Gary Faust, by the way, one of the biggest pieces of shit in the history of human beings.
Probably the biggest piece.
I don't know if he isn't like raped or murdered anybody.
That's true. That's true.
So
he's like one step above OJ.
Just from like a philosophical standpoint, he's one of the worst people I've ever met, right?
Yeah.
But he does say, I think it's him that says, fake tits only look good in clothes, right? Because you don't know if her nipple's like on the side of her titty or something.
True. That's true. You got to get a good doctor, man. You got to get a really good
doctor.
That Oilers doctor, whoever did that Oilers chick, like they did a great job. What was the other one, Bob? You had the fun, flirty one. Oh, yeah, there it is. Pop it up one more time. This is just from the theater.
Well,
now, this is a different type of gun.
This is actually some news. I think she won Flapper's Best Milkers of the Year.
No way.
Shit, dude. Congratulations. Can we get some
Round
applause?
of applause. Round of applause, Delco. Thank you so
you.
much. Flappers.
Yeah.
What was the exact name of that award? By the way, I don't want to get it wrong.
Milkers of the Year.
Oh, that's great.
Congratulations. That's probably the most prestigious thing that'll ever happen to her.
Probably. Yeah. But we don't know. Look, she could be president in 10 years. I have no fucking idea. But she changed districts, and what was the final tally there? Did she win by a lot in a new district?
It was a blowout, yeah.
No
shit. She cruised.
So she carries everywhere is what we kind of found out about her
Well,
last
everyone
night.
should.
Love to hear that.
Everybody should be trained on, and carry a weapon everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for you not to. If you're not doing it, you should do it. But anyways, women with guns doesn't like. I don't know. There's a lot of we call them gun bunnies, right, in the industry, and it's you see certain gun companies, certain peripheral companies that use them in their advertising. It's like a girl in a fucking cut up crop top. Yeah. With like the titties half cut out of it, and she's like walking through the woods with a rifle. It's an airsoft gun, by the way. If you've ever seen those photos, it's an airsoft gun. First, and two, This motherfucker doesn't know what she's doing.
She does.
She's never been in a gunfight in her life.
We don't know that.
We know that for sure.
We sure don't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to say that on this show. I have no idea how many gunfights she may or may not have been in, and I'm not willing to risk my valuable reputation.
Your reputation has no value. And second, we know she has never been in a gunfight because she would never stop talking about it if that were the case. And third, we know that she's got a GED and she only got it 3 weeks before she ran for office.
I think she kills a grizzly over 800 pounds within the next 4 years.
How do you think she made this jacket?
Exactly. Right there. Pop it up. Pop that jacket up.
That is all
sure it is.
No, she bought that.
It's all bear fur.
No, first of all, that's not bear fur, for fuck's sake.
Sure is.
Second, she is not shooting bears.
Yeah, she is. There's a lot of bears, a lot of black bears in Colorado.
You can't shoot black bears there, I don't believe.
You can. You just can't tell anybody about it.
Yeah, if you want to get put in jail for 10 years, that's a good idea.
When you're a congresswoman, you can do that, man. You were protecting your family.
I believe that is the origin of South Park's "It's Coming Right for Us" joke.
Yeah.
There was somebody shot a bear and like he had to basically like prove that the bear was attacking him. So they're like, you can kill whatever you want as long as you say it's coming right for us.
Yeah, actually, speaking of that, I think DeSantis just passed a bill about that in Florida as well. I don't know how many bears are in Florida, but I believe he just passed a bill or signed a bill into law that was passed by the legislature there that allows you to kill a bear if it gets like. So in L.A., right, California, they have rules on this. Bears, not in the city so much, but in the hills, bears would come down there all the time, right, because people leave their garbage out or whatever the fuck. Anytime there was a drought and the food sources ran out, like if there's a drought in California, the mountainous areas, all the smaller animals will go south, right? Or if there's a drought, the riverbeds get lower, so there's not salmon running around and shit like that. So bears will come down to the cities and try to eat food. It just happens. If a bear until it physically attacks you, like literally attacks you and does damage, you can't do a goddamn thing about it. As a matter of fact, they can't even come out and euthanize it or capture it until it physically assaults a person, for the most part. Because California is fucked up, right?
It is, but let's say you're out in the forest. Couldn't you just say the bear took a swing at me first, and then I had to punch the bear?
Well, Flexin Texan in the Twitter chat says bears make up 13% of the population and do 60% of the crime. So go ahead and jot that down.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but that's the line of the day so far. That's the line of the day. But I popped in and was watching all of it last night, as we were talking about with Charlie earlier. Look, this dude in New York, yes, he lost. Yes, it was a blowout. I am not a fucking fan of letting other countries come in and donate money to political candidates at all, man. You've got to ban that altogether.
Yep. Just
because this stupid fucking war popped up. And by the way, I don't think it's stupid for Israel. They got fucking invaded and it was a terrorist attack. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do on that. So Godspeed. I just don't think we should be involved in it because it has nothing to do with us. But also, you shouldn't be able to give money to political United States candidates who don't necessarily agree with your policies in a totally different country. It has nothing to do with ours whatsoever. So with that guy losing, yes, I'm happy he's out of there. He's a fucking dipshit and part of the squad and all that other shit. But no, I'm not happy that, what was it, $12 million came from AIPAC?
$14 million. Although it should be noted, he was losing badly before they donated a dime.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't...
Was that his excuse then last night?
I mean, partially his excuse and partially Israel funneling money into the United States. Where did, like, they only spent $14 million. Oh, yeah, show me the receipts.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Because Bernie Sanders spends a bunch of money in his elections, too. It all goes to his fucking... A third of it goes to his daughter's media company.
Sure.
They're just siphoning money off of that's why Bernie Sanders is the biggest piece of shit in politics. Everyone's like, oh, he's not a bad guy. Like, he's a communist or whatever, but at least he doesn't fucking big corporation, blah, blah, blah. He takes money from regular people and then gives it to his daughter.
Yeah.
Also worth noting with Bowman, too. So, yeah, obviously he didn't get a dime from Israel. But most of his donations did come from outside of his district.
Yeah, like, I mean, this dude wasn't even holding his own meetings in his district, for Christ's sake. I mean, what the fuck, man?
That's nuts, dude. So that rally, and pop it up. You can pop it up on screen, Bob, where she was dancing around on stage to Cardi B. We're on YouTube today, so just don't play the audio of it. You could play her entrance that felt like an insane clown posse type event for her. Yeah. just running around on stage up there to Cardi B. She looked like the opening act for Cardi B.
I got to say, I can't take her seriously ever talking about being a minority again, because this is the whitest shit I've ever seen.
Oh, I mean, and then she lets her hair down. I mean, she goes through all the motions here to do it. So, Bob, you were the one who pointed this out before we went on air this morning. This was in a totally different district with Bernie Sanders and her?
Allegedly, this was not even in Bowman's district.
Okay. It would make sense, just based on the trees and whatnot there and the nice park. But
Yeah.
No, he actually has quite a bit of his district is in, I'll have to look it up, it's Westchester County or something like that.
Oh, is it a weird cutout up there?
Yeah, in New York State. So it's like he has... So he's acting like, oh, we're the Bronx, we're from the South Bronx, even though the South Bronx is not even in his district. But his district is like White Plains, New York.
Yeah. Jews.
Yeah, no.
It's Jews and police officers.
Oh, boy.
You were like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
Like
if
the
you're gonna
minority
go
are
against
white
Israel.
police officers live there. The rest of the people there are fucking Jews.
Okay.
Which is retarded. Speaking of retarded, Puerto Ricans from New York, right? Mm-hmm. There's two versions. One who have family who are actually from Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Right? And they can dance. Jennifer Lopez, for example. One of the original fucking Fly Girl. That's how she got started.
Jenny from the block.
And then there's this. There's this.
Let's put some respect on her. She was dancing pretty bad.
You're not even looking at the dancing. You're just looking at the tight T-shirt and her titties, Bob.
I'll show you the dancing. I'm about to show the dance.
Yeah, let's show the dance.
I've seen the dance.
Let's
It's not
see
good.
The
She's
AOC
the,
dance.
This is just stripper bullshit. She's not dancing.
Kind of in love.
Good God.
Why are you so anti-woman right now?
No.
I'm anti-whore.
You've been on this anti.
You have, dude. You hate women.
It's crazy. Why do you hate women, Dan?
You do hate women.
There's only a couple. Look at that. Did you see that? Play that part. Don't switch off now. Don't switch off now that she's doing this stupid bullshit. Oh, yeah, there we go. She's such a great dancer.
Got the move. Dude,
Get the fuck out. She's just double hand jobbing. That's not even a dance move. Fuck off. You guys are in
nice.
You guys
That's a
are in
nice
love
little shuffle
with
there.
shitty dancers and rat-faced trailer park skanks. That's not my fucking problem. That's your problem.
No, it's not, dude. Taylor Swift, you're on the wrong side of history.
No,
Taylor
not.
Swift.
Everybody hates Taylor Swift because she's a terrible person.
Do you even understand what kind of god I would be if I had a three-way with AOC and Taylor Swift?
Oh, boy. Bob, I'd worship to you.
People would come to smell my penis. They'd pay $5.
I would. I sure would. I'd go to a fucking rusty old barn in Lubbock, Texas to sniff that penis. You're right, Bob. I'd pray to the Church of Bob.
Oh, man.
After that. But I did like the front part of that video. Terrible dancer at the end. Is she full Puerto Rican? Or is she part white?
Puerto Rican?
That would
fucking
suggest part white. This dancing video.
She's culturally white.
Okay.
Right? In the same way that Larry Elder is culturally white. You know what I mean? That's why they call him the black face of white supremacy when he ran for governor out there. But Larry Elder is culturally white. That's it's almost like they fucked up. So I don't remember who originally said it, but someone popular, I can't remember who it was, but they said that race is more of a spectrum than gender is. Gender is not a spectrum. You're either a man or a woman. That's fucking retarded. Mm-hmm. And anything else, you're just pretending. But race is cultural for the most part, right? Like your ethnicity might be one thing or another, but your race is mostly nurture and not nature. You know what I mean? Steve Urkel, for example. Not that that's a real guy or not, but everybody knows a black nerd.
Jaleel White, yeah. That's true.
Both her parents are Puerto Rican.
Oh, they are. So she's full hundo on that one. Man, you would think that she could dance then. Maybe
no, because she's culturally white.
That's true.
Look at her.
That's
Bring
true.
up a picture of her fucking boyfriend.
Yeah, with the ginger.
Because Jenny from the block has had an array of different types of men in her life. 5 rings, I believe. More than LeBron.
6.
More than LeBron.
Yeah.
But never one that looked like this.
No.
It's true. This is a white woman.
I mean, goddamn.
That is
a white liberal. Only a white liberal woman would fucking fuck that ginger cunt right there.
She is as white as Babe Ruth is black.
Yeah.
That's true. Babe Ruth is black.
Babe Ruth is a black man.
He is. He is a black man. But this guy, it looks like he was bagging groceries at Whole Foods, and she was like, you know what, you're kind of cute.
Either that or he was standing outside of one asking for signatures for whatever gay-ass cause he was promoting.
Yeah, would you like some sesame sticks? And also, can we go
sign?
paperless? Can you take all your groceries out and dump them on the ground and just put them in your car and leave the paper here? But that's who she's married to. I heard behind the scenes this dude's like a fucking tech dude who ran her campaign and all that other shit. The reason why we bring her up today is she did win her primary last night. So
she's never going to lose that primary.
I don't think so either. But running against a Republican, who knows?
No, she's not going to lose.
I
And
don't
also,
think so
as much as all of the squad sucks, there's been a lot of noise made about how she's pissing off progressives because she's kind of become mainstreamed, whereas Cori Bush and Bowman, who's now out, and like Ilhan Omar are still like complete fucking nut jobs.
Yeah. Want to ask you with this debate coming up tomorrow night. Now, we're going to be doing a live watch along on Patreon, so subscribe to Drinkin Bros podcast on Patreon. I'm looking at,
by the way,
some of the Hollywood numbers here. They're
as a
expecting
reminder,
this to be
fake news is at 6
fake
Central.
news is 6 Central,
and then 8. Well, just follow along for after fake news.
Yeah, that'll be on YouTube tomorrow. Fake news on Drinkin Bros podcast on YouTube, and then we'll switch on over to Patreon. That way, it'll allow us to show you picture-in-picture of the actual debate. CNN is not letting any YouTube channels do it, which is nonsense to me because they need fucking help. But looking through the Hollywood numbers here, they're expecting this to potentially be the most watched debate in American history. There is no audience, by the way. Definitely want to remind you of that. However, like we talked about yesterday, allegedly Trump's VP will be in attendance there. With Charlie, he seemed pretty fucking certain that it was down to 2 people.
Yeah.
I have not heard that.
I mean, a lot of people are certain that Hillary's going to be a candidate in 24 as well. I keep seeing it everywhere.
Well, she's got a book. She's got a book coming out.
If you remember, Milo tried to tell us this shit in 2020. Hillary's not running for president.
I agree. And I think it's too late at this point. We're, 4 months away?
Even if it was last October, she still isn't running for president.
Yeah.
She has a 0% chance of ever winning.
Yeah, so no audience, obviously muted mics, all that other stuff. If they are in attendance, is this something that he slides in then at the end? Where he says, hey, this is my VP and here's who it is?
I mean, if it's Vivek, he may as well. If it's Burgum, God, don't tell anybody that until it's too late, probably.
How damaging...
Or if it's J.D. Vance, that would work too, I guess.
How damaging would fucking Burgum be?
I don't think he wins.
I don't know. I don't know that he does either. It'd be a fucking total snooze fest. Pull this guy up and show him one more time.
What does anybody?
I was really shocked to hear.
The only thing anybody knows about Burgum is that he was the quietest guy on the Republican fucking debate stage.
Terrible on the debate stage.
Honestly, that's all anybody knows about.
I'm the only person in America who watched all of those debates in their entirety last year, and he was fucking awful, dude. And I just don't understand why he would be even on this short list. Like, you don't need South Dakota, for Christ's sakes. You don't need any of the Dakotas for anything.
I don't think we should even have any Dakotas.
Who would you...
Like, even people, even.
Okay, would you trade him for somebody?
I'd like 2 states, Cuba. I would rename it.
I'd like to have Cuba.
I'd rename the 2 states to something better. I don't want any people or states named Dakota.
Okay. And just let the Buffaloes roam there?
No, I mean, we can still do stuff in the state. I just don't want it to be named that. Name it something else.
If they picked him, though, man, would this be disappointing. I can't think of a... Well, I can. Fucking Mike Pence was a letdown, too. Because I was ahead of that Trump curve. I loved him, and then he picked his VP, and I was like, who the fuck is that, and why would I want this guy?
I don't know. I mean, I think what would be best for the country is to tee up the next guy, right?
Yeah.
That used to be the standard. Like, the reason you chose a VP is because you think he can not only step in as president if you go down, but also be the heir apparent to the presidency. And I don't want a guy who's going to be 71 when it's time to run for president next time, which is Doug Burgum. Fuck that shit.
Now, with J.D. Vance...
People are tired of this stuff. He's 39.
Yeah.
Vivek is 42, I think.
Exactly. With J.D. Vance, it makes sense. I could see him potentially running for president.
Yeah. Or even if he named DeSantis. I wouldn't be that shocked if he named DeSantis, to be honest. I know a lot of people would, but I would not be that shocked.
I have not seen his fucking name anywhere. In the meantime, on Twitter last night, and this was super late that I was up, Vivek was trending everywhere, and people said that they spot him at an airport in Cleveland, Ohio. Others were saying, like me, oh, well, J.D. Vance is in Ohio, but he wasn't there in Cleveland that day, so maybe it's him. He also said he is going to the debate tomorrow. I'm not sure. The other weird thing about what Charlie Kirk was saying earlier is it could happen any hour. If that's your homie, if you're friends with J.D. Vance in real life, there's got to be a text message, right? Of like, hey, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You and I have made text messages to our friends not this high up, because we're not, other than Tulsi, we don't know any of these other candidates personally.
Yeah.
VP wise. So,
by the way, do you remember Trump's shortlist for VP in 2016? Because Mike Pence might have been the best choice.
Go ahead and name it off. I don't remember, actually.
So Mike Pence, obviously, who
Jeb Bush definitely wasn't on there.
No. Newt Gingrich.
Ooh.
And Chris Christie.
Oh, God. Yeesh. To be fair, though, besides JD Vance, Vivek, and Tulsi,
they also had
none of these other people get me off, Bob. I can't get off to these people.
They also were kind of looking at Jeff Sessions in Alabama, who
God, gross.
Career politician.
Yep.
Tom Cotton in Arkansas.
He's young, but still a career politician.
Yeah.
And then the rest are like
Tom Cotton was also a fucking JAG officer in the military. The thing that does the only thing that makes Burgum a potential choice, I'm trying to think like Trump thinks, is that he didn't get involved in politics until 2016.
Okay.
So he's not a career politician.
But neither's Vance.
He was a businessman before. Yeah, but I mean, Vance and Vivek obviously are not career politicians. They're 40 years old, but just saying.
I think this is Vance's first political posting.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because he wrote Hillbilly Elegy.
He did, yeah. And I believe he was a veteran, too, right?
Yeah, he was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he was like an aircraft mechanic or some bullshit. I don't remember.
Yeah, but late last night, so I'm on Twitter now. Speaking of
he
which,
was a public affairs guy. Sorry.
Follow Drinkin Bros podcast on Twitter here, because we're live a good majority of the days over there. Right around 21 hours ago is when this story was kind of starting to break, that he had selected his VP, and reports are circulating that it's Vivek. Very surprised to hear Charlie say that no, that's not even in the final two, and that it was down to two, because I was unaware of that, and I haven't heard. Ben Carson is on there. No thanks, man. That's not going to do it for me either.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Don't know that he would do well at any of these fucking events.
Yeah, he's a really smart guy, too. But that doesn't always so Thomas Massie's a smart guy. Mm-hmm. The smartest guy in politics, probably. Like, just general intellect speaking. Not necessarily as a political scientist, but he's got a fucking engineering degree from MIT, for Christ's sake. That's part of it, right? Understanding politics is the second part of it. And the third part of it is presentation, right? So yesterday, after the Bowman vote came in, Massie posted a video of Bowman yelling at him in the halls of Congress, and Massie kind of embarrassing him and saying, hey, I'm going to miss these little chats or whatever the fuck. Yeah, you can just.
Oh, did he post it on his Twitter?
There it is. Okay. What does he say?
Yeah. Play it.
Oh, yeah. The caption was, "I'm gonna miss our informal chit chats in the hallways." This is Bowman holding court in the Capitol building with the press.
Children at all, cowards, pressure them, force them to respond to the question, why the hell won't you do anything to save America's children? And let them explain that all the way up until election day of 2024. Let them explain it all the way up to election day of 2024. They're freaking cowards. They're gutless. They're not here. I'm talking about gun violence.
You know, there's never been
I'm talking about gun
in
violence.
a school that allows teachers to carry.
Carry guns?
Would you
more guns lead to more death. More guns lead to more death. Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby. Look at the data. More guns lead to more deaths. States that have open carry laws have more death.
In every school
States that have open carry laws have
The most mass
more
shootings
death.
happen in California.
Yeah.
So that's not true.
Children are dying. 9-year-old children. Because the solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever worked in a school? Have you ever worked in a school?
Okay, you can cut it. So the reason I wanted to show that, one, because it illustrates a fact. Thomas Massie will get in there and talk some shit. Mm-hmm. And he's pretty handy with the satire, right? Presentation matters. The other reason is because the Surgeon General has declared gun violence a public health crisis, right?
Are they allowed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not that it doesn't mean anything, but he declared that gun violence is a public health crisis, and they're going to try to slip some bullshit in because of this. But the data that he uses, Bob, go to his page, please. Well, there it is right there. Just blow that up as big as you can. Blow that up. Well, no, that's not it. No. Go to his Twitter page. It's just surgeon_general. And I'll tell you when to stop scrolling.
Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Under Thomas Massie. There you go.
There you go. So scroll. Keep on going. All right. Sweet. Right there. Okay. So click on that little thing right there. This is the thing. This is the chart that they post to tell you. You see the light blue line is motor vehicle accidents, and it's been going down precipitously since 2002, whereas gun violence has pretty much been even and had some jump over the past, let's say since 2020, which, by the way, you should watch Tucker's last episode because they go into great detail on that, how black people killing black people in inner cities jumped by 2,000% after George Floyd up until present.
Really?
Yeah. That is the community that the defund the police shit affected the most.
We knew that, though, right?
Sure,
I mean,
it's really retarded. Now, for this one, firearms are the leading cause of death for children and adolescents. Okay, cool. Look at the fucking age range right there. Bob, can you see that? Yeah. 1 to 19 years old. So not 0 to 1. So we got to take them out, and then we have to add 18 and 19.
Okay. Well, 18 and 19 are adults.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So this is a lie, right? This is a complete lie.
Interesting.
It's absolute fucking nonsense. I mean, the primary cause of death for kids, for small children, is disease of some sort. The primary cause for young teenagers to teenage, the whole teenage group actually, is car wrecks by far. It's not even close.
Once they're driving age kids, basically.
Yeah. No, I mean I think even 12 and 13.
Okay.
Because of being in cars with their parents or some shit. I don't know. But
parents,
it's still the
buses, everything else. It was a
also-
bus tragedy here in Texas a few weeks back.
Yeah, well, that kid was 5.
Was he?
Yeah, he was really young.
He was driving?
No. The dude who was driving the cement truck that hit him was on cocaine and had stayed up all night.
Jesus Christ.
The leading cause of death is unintentional injury for babies even, I think. 0 to 1. Let's see. Hang on, I got it here. 0 to 1. Developmental and genetic conditions, premature birth, and then unintentional injuries. For everybody else, it's unintentional injuries until 14, and then it's car wrecks.
Okay.
And it's not even close. Guns are barely a factor.
My 2-year-old hit me in the back of the leg with a hanger yesterday that I thought I was going to die. Yeah,
that's what the data says. That's what the data says.
I thought about it. Once I read the data, I was like, man, do I kill my own child?
Fucking Surgeon General says you got to go, bitch.
I
Boom.
mean,
at least shoot him in the forehead with a Nerf gun or something. Teach him a lesson.
It's a her, so I let her go.
Oh yeah, well
I'm not doing it the next time, Birdie.
She's still a baby.
But Bob, pull up the video that I sent you via Twitter here in the direct links. This guy was the other guy that went viral a couple days ago for posting this alleged flight, and Trump touchdown was only there for a few minutes, had the Secret Service drive him south, talked to Vivek in person, and he's saying that Trump's VP is going to be Vivek. That Trump discreetly left Cleveland, and unbeknownst to anyone, someone took this video of his plane leaving Cleveland Hopkins Airport.
I mean, who knows if that's true or not? He could have been visiting with old ball coach or some shit. What's his name? Urban Meyer. Maybe he was going to see Urban. He wanted to get some chicken wings down at Urban Meyer's Pine House.
Everybody wants to go down to Urban Meyer's Pine House, have some hard AF seltzers this fall. Charlie, you son of a bitch. He's going to owe me $1,000 on that fucking game. I can't wait till the goddamn spread comes out. Looking real forward to that. But look, 4th of July is next week. This decision's got to happen here within the next 16 days. Do you think we get it before tomorrow night?
I mean, Trump's a showman, right? Mm-hmm. He wants to make his entrance in any way possible. I don't think he's going to steal thunder from his own debate by doing it. I think if the debate goes well and he's feeling well at the end of it, he'll announce.
But thinking about this last night, and again, I was up deep in a fucking rabbit hole of this shit last night. Wouldn't it be a shock and surprise if he fit it into one of the answers of the debate question? Because to me, that would throw off Biden of oh, shit, that's who your VP is?
Yeah.
Because what would you be able to say?
I wouldn't hate that.
It would be interesting. And if, with this many eyeballs potentially watching, because nobody loves a big event better than when you have a heel in it. Trump's just coming off the conviction and everything else. Obviously, that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But if the ratings turn out to be the record that Hollywood is at least predicting tomorrow night, that'll quell the thing of, well, people are tired of this election and this rematch here. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely looking forward to tomorrow night.
It'll be pretty interesting to see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. As we move forward here, Assange is back, obviously in Australia, free man and all that other shit. You were telling me something before the show. What have you learned since about Assange?
Yeah, one of the conditions of his... so he pled guilty to a felony, by the way. He wasn't released by the Biden administration. He pled guilty to a felony. He got credit for time served, so he doesn't have to serve any additional time. And then one of the conditions was that he had to delete and destroy anything from WikiLeaks about the U.S. government, basically. Which I don't understand because everybody's already copied.
Yeah, it's already out there.
It exists in so many other places now. I don't understand that. So, I mean, some people are trying to say that it's the whole thing of dealing with him now is a conspiracy because if Trump had just pardoned him, he could go on doing what he was doing. I don't know that that's true or not. I don't see any evidence for that necessarily, to be honest.
Okay.
Because people have the information already, unless they knew he had something else.
Gotcha.
That might be something, but there's no evidence to suggest that either. I guess we'll see.
We will.
Because to be honest, that dude, I don't think he's going to stay quiet no matter what. I think he'll die. He's a martyr in his own mind, right? I think he would literally die for it. So we'll see how it goes.
Is he brilliant enough to get back in and steal some other shit?
He never did that. People gave him stuff. He's not. I mean, he is
Gotcha,
technically
gotcha.
a hacker, but that's not how that went down. Like he got fed information from Bradley Manning and others, Snowden.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then Joe Biden today, I don't know if you saw this as a veteran, I'm sure you were concerned about this, pardoned veterans convicted under military's ban on gay sex. So,
Wait, say that again?
Joe Biden pardoned veterans convicted under military's ban on gay sex. Is there a ban on gay sex in the military?
There was. And then there was don't ask, don't tell, which was a policy like, hey, we're not going to ask, but if we catch you, you're going to go. I mean, it was the same policy that Roman emperors had about Christianity in the 2nd and the 3rd century, basically, for the most part. It's like, as long as you don't make a big fuss about it.
Okay.
Right? Next, maybe they could, and I think this is actually going to happen soon. I think there's a federal lawsuit about this. I'm not tracking on it myself, but I think anybody that was discharged from the military for not taking the COVID vax is going to get, they've already offered to let them back in, but fuck that, right? So, but I think people are going to be due some compensation for that.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that bullshit.
In regards to this gay sex thing, Biden's clemency will extend to thousands of former military service members who were convicted of the former Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 125, while it was in effect from the 1950s to 2013. So you couldn't fuck a dude in the military up until 2013?
Not legally, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, we did it anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you get away with
Fucking
it?
did it anyways. Nobody's going to tell me what to do.
It's weird that why of all the things in the world that are going on right now, that's the one that you were like, man, I want to go back and correct that real quick. Not that I have a problem with it. It just, that at the top of your list, is that there? Is that the top?
They're trying anything they can at this point. I mean, it's like, you go one or two directions. If you're in a position of power like that, you start giving shit away, right? You gave away student loan forgiveness, although the Supreme Court knocked that down. That's not going to happen now. You're trying to give away. I mean, the Democrats have done this forever, welfare, whatever else, to keep people on the tit, right? This is just another example of that. It's the same thing with letting Assange go. And it kind of betrays their position, like I said yesterday. They can't just let him go. They have to charge him with something because Hillary Clinton and her ilk, the powerful part of the Democratic Party, would never let that happen. They would lose their shit and fucking annihilate Biden and his administration if they did that.
Okay.
So they had to do something. And he's just like, oh, Ross Ulbricht's getting out. Well, so is fucking his son. I did it first.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Then there's the other direction, which is you just start going fucking full retard like Cori Bush is, accusing people, or like Jamal Bowman did. Fucking Jews coming after me. Like, all right, man. I mean, you're dumb though. Like you held the rally the day before the election in a different district, so you lose. That's I don't need to do that math for you.
No, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
Fuck's sake.
It's wild. And Axios is reporting that J.D. Vance said that he would be disappointed if he wasn't picked as Trump's VP. That's the first person I've ever heard say they would be disappointed if they weren't picked. Fuck, maybe it is him. Who knows?
Pressure's on, Don.
It sure is, dude. I can't wait.
You don't want to disappoint that beard.
No, I'm not a fan of that beard. Like, I like your beard. I like a beard like that. Pull up J.D. Vance's beard.
I think he's got a nice beard. What are you talking about?
It's kind of ill-shaped. It's too cut out at the bottom there. Is that a new pick? Okay. Because the older picks, it was a little too thin there underneath, and he always looks confused or angry about something.
That's the Mark Wahlberg face.
It is.
Angry and confused. What?
Say hi to your mother for me.
Huh? What?
Always out of breath. Say hi to your mother for me.
What?
Yeah. That's the photo they used of him being disappointed if he's not going to become Trump's VP. Damn it. Damn it. Now's the point in the show we get to the Drinkin Bro of the week. We got some listeners back there. Are they allowed to come up? Come on up, sir. Come on down, actually. Yeah. Cue that music. Let's go. And if you can't be live in our studio to come up on air and give out your Drinkin Bro of the week, go to drinkinbros.com. Grab some merch. Grab a bro box if you can. Talking about going to Hooters next month because they might be shutting down, so we might do a huge blowout at Hooters. We'll see. TBD on that one, but if you don't want to buy any merch or anything else, there's a submission form for Drinkin Bro of the Week. It'll get emailed to me live on air. However, we would love to see your lovely little faces here. Look at you, sir. Bring it about an inch from your mouth there.
Some would say an inch is too much.
It sure is. Look at you, friends. Look at you. Tell everybody your name.
Roman.
Roman. Fuck, we were talking about the Romans all show today. Coincidence or no?
Actually, it really is because I'm definitely an empire.
Yeah, you look like it.
Yeah.
You look like it. And you also look like you could have been potentially gay at one point.
That's still kind of questionable. My wife just thinks about that every day.
I bet.
She's not sure whether or not I am.
Pegging? Ever tried it?
Nah.
You've thought about it a little too long.
I've genuinely thought about it, and it boiled down to if I did, she would probably lose too much respect for me.
Yeah.
And I can't have that.
That's true.
Because then I have to go back to domestic violence, and then that's just a whole nother conversation.
But you are saying that you wanted it. Just because of the try, like let's give it a go, or?
I'm pretty sure we just said something about don't ask, don't tell.
Okay. We did. And you're a gay man who's hiding, and that's fine. Speaking of beards, J.D. Vance is... I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Who'd you like your Drinkin Bro of the Week to?
My buddy Mikey back there, actually. So I was just deployed in Egypt.
Oh, shit. How was that? Did you go to that Pizza Hut by the pyramids?
No, but I did go to the pyramids after Gaza decided they were going to start playing nice, turn part of the country into a parking lot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they want to, hey.
How is it over there? I said on air, like, I have zero interest. I don't really give a shit what happens. I didn't even really want to see the pyramids. And then Bob brought up the fucking Pizza Hut. And I was like, well, I'm all in now. I'd like to go to that Pizza Hut after seeing the pyramids.
So I went to a really shitty hotel next to the Pizza Hut. And that's where we ate. And I would much rather have had the Pizza Hut.
Man, I'm disappointed in you.
But I did have Egyptian Pizza Hut in the Sinai Peninsula.
Any good?
It's not too bad.
How's their breadsticks there? Like, they check out?
I actually went with a pizzusi.
Sorry?
A pizzusi.
What the fuck is that?
It's a calzone, but it's
pizzusi?
rebranded. Yeah.
God, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that. Even your friends are like, shut the fuck up back there. I mean, I can't believe that came out of your mouth.
He wasn't there. He doesn't know.
He does know. He does know. Yeah. You're wearing a hat that says Poppy. There's a good chance you guys have boned once or twice on this trip.
We've shared a sleeping bag.
You sure have. Sure have. A little broke back.
Sub-zero temperatures. Somebody's
broke back.
got to keep somebody warm.
One spit in the hand, one spit in the palm, and then Jake Gyllenhaal turns over. Yeesh. Well, thanks for coming down, man. How long are you in Austin for?
I think we go home tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll grab some hard AF seltzer and have some laughs here with us afterwards. All right.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually an owner of the company. I don't
Sure
know
are. WeFunder.com/hard AF seltzer. I told you before we went on air today, I was like, hey, dude, if you own it, you got the paperwork and all that other stuff emailed to you and you paid, grab a 12-pack somewhere, screenshot it, and then tag it so that way you're promoting it, Because you're an owner to owner, bro.
Owner. As a fellow owner.
Yes, owner to owner. Tag it, promote it, and put it everywhere you can
absolutely.
so people buy it. Getting ready for the new flavors to come out, too. Super excited about that. Had a phone call this morning. So University of Illinois, if you're in Illinois, the state of Illinois, they'll actually have their own unique flavor for the state that won't be sold anywhere else. We potentially might ship it to you. We'll see. We're working those details out now. And then Michigan will also have its own unique flavor for University of Michigan, and that'll be fun. So, but you got to go there to do it. D'Anthony and I will be there opening night in Illinois for that new orange flavor, and we're excited. And then we'll head to Michigan the week after. Anybody else back there want to come on up today? Homeboy's like, nah, I can't. I got a fucking job, dude. He thought at the top of the show, he was like, man, you got Charlie Kirk on. That'd be a good one to come on. And then the rest of it went off the rails today. And he's like, not a prayer.
As soon as I said we shared a sleeping bag, he was done.
As soon as you said you were thinking about getting pegged, he was done. Because now he can't follow that.
It's not pegging if he doesn't buy it.
That's true.
At that point, it's just sodomy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And that's an important life lesson to take home with you tonight, kids. We appreciate you tuning in. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. And a quick reminder, Fake News will be at 6 o'clock Central live on YouTube, and then we'll be watching the debate tomorrow night live on our Drinkin Bros podcast. Patreon, CNN is not allowing picture-in-picture on YouTube tomorrow, so we're doing that live on Patreon tomorrow night, going back-to-back, and chances are we'll be pretty fucking trashed by the end of it. Appreciate you being here, kids. For D'Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin Bros